Sergei Fedorov, his jersey got raised to the Raptors in Detroit. You called their games there in '97 when they won it all. So,
Yep.
what are your thoughts on Sergei Fedorov's time as a Red Wing and finally getting his long overdue recognition there?
Well, I would agree 100% that it is long overdue. I'll tell you a couple of things about Sergei Fedorov. First of all, I've never seen Pavel Bure's right there though, but I've never seen someone so explosive from blue line to blue line. And explosive, obviously, throughout the game, but that man could accelerate like I've never seen before. Add the white Nike skates at the time, and he just looked faster and faster. And one of the greatest players in the history of the game of hockey, let alone the National Hockey League and the Detroit Red Wings. I also remember at the time that they were billeting, they were chaperoning Anna Kournikova. And so Anna was around downstairs, the locker room and stuff, and with all the Russians, of course, the Russian Five, but, with Sergei, and we were kind of like, all right, but good job, 91. And I'm not saying anything happened. I'm just saying it was a pretty cool visual for all of us in a polite way. So that is something I remember my late father-in-law, like rubbernecked, and my mother-in-law caught him right away and smacked him like, hey, eyes over here, eyes over here. But I agreed with Grandpa Tucker, my grandpa to my kids, of course. And the 5-goal game. I mean, the 5-goal game was unbelievable. And it was on December 26th. So as you know now, Giancarlo, they don't play Christmas Eve. They don't play Christmas Day. And as it is in Canada, they don't play on Boxing Day. So we're home for Christmas. Nobody wants to go to the rink on the 26th for a 1 o'clock game. And we're playing the Capitals. All right, Sergei with the first goal. Second, hat trick. Then the game continues, and Sergei Fedorov wins it in overtime with his 5th goal of the night. And that is as famous a call for the Red Wings as when I got to call the McCarty revenge game against Claude Lemieux, and of course, Vernon and Waugh fighting. But that day, to watch that brilliance of Sergei Fedorov, one of the most special moments that I've ever witnessed in hockey, let alone had the privilege to call. And so that day turned out as a pretty good Boxing Day. It's like, all right, if this is going to be how the game goes, it's unbelievable. When you look back at those highlights, and I know you have,
Yeah.
you look at the puck movement though. Like Sergei exploded on it, but the puck movement with Konstantinov and down to Igor Larionov and back to Fetisov and then Kozlov, and just the puck movement on some of those goals, especially with Vladdy. Vladdy would see Sergei backdoor on 2 or 3 of the goals. And man, obviously tragic what happened to Vladdy after the Stanley Cup winning, season, just a day or two after. But if you really look at those goals, Sergei finished them, but they were some of the most beautiful plays that you'll ever see in hockey. And it truly was the Russian Five being the greatest Russian Five we had seen. And they changed the game. I'll tell you a funny story about that season too. Scotty Bowman at one point, and Scotty, the biggest control freak in the history of life. And that is probably putting it mildly. There was a look at me in fight mode now, post-game press conference one time, and Scotty was, surrounded by microphones, and they asked about the Russian Five, like, how do you coach them? And Scotty Bowman said, I don't. They know what they're doing. I can't understand it, so I'm not going to get in their way. So for Scotty to say that, it was pretty special, and they were very special to watch play together. And then Dougie Brown was kind of the 6th Russian for a long time that would be on that line once in a while, and then you get Shanny in there. But it's just some of the most beautiful hockey that I'd ever seen. And now the cool thing modern day is that style of hockey is played by the modern day player pretty much every night. And to see the teams and the players grow like that, hockey is better than it's ever been, and it's just going to continue to get better and better.